Hey, you guys, this is the Fro Wrestling Podcast. We are streaming live during WrestleMania Night 1. And look, we wanted to get something out there to you guys while the show's going on. Right now, we're jumping in right when The Undertaker is pummeling the snot out of AJ Styles in this Boneyard match. If you didn't see the start of this match, you are missing something special because I'm going to tell you right now, that was incredible. The way they did this is old school Undertaker feel to it. We have a little bit of lag going on. I apologize for that. One of these days we'll get this thing squared away so it's perfectly in sync. But I'm telling you right now, if you're watching WrestleMania, it has been a great show already. Already have seen some surprises. We expected Shayna Baszler to walk away with the Raw Women's Championship. Not the case. We did not have that happen. Instead, we have Becky Lynch retaining her championship. I'm going to move this over. Whoa, how you doing? There we go. We'll move this guy over so you guys can get in there and see everything we're talking about. Oh, see, now that stream's not working. That's a terrible thing, but that's okay. Hopefully you guys have tuned into the whole WrestleMania Night 1. I'm a little surprised at the match order. I'm surprised they have so many big matches still to come on Night 2. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I did not expect some of the things we saw. The Kabuki Warriors, I thought they were going to retain the Women's Tag Team Championship. That did not happen. I expected us to be able to see, Shayna Baszler really and be something special, and unfortunately that also did not happen. So we're gonna have to wait and see how these things play out, but honestly, very cool night of wrestling action. I'm really impressed with what WWE's done so far. Not what I would have expected. I really thought we would have seen just some different things go down a little differently. I didn't expect Sami Zayn to retain his championship. I'm actually really excited about that. I think that's a beautiful thing. I really wish they would have acknowledged how important Sami Zayn was prior to this, but at the same time, it's still awesome to see him finally getting some of the respect he deserves and getting an opportunity to have a real prime spot at a major pay-per-view. Defeating Daniel Bryan is something that doesn't happen every day. So hopefully this is a indicator of things to come for Sami Zayn. I apologize again. I see that we have some lag going on. Hopefully at some point we'll get that back onto real time. A lot of things going on. We got the WrestleMania stream on one side of the computer. We got our stream on the other. So I'm not surprised that we're having a few issues, technically speaking. But we'll see what we can get done. And we'll see if we can get that lag down for you. Love what they're doing here. The Undertaker, all these dark demonic symbols going on. Having Gallows and Anderson there, I think, is just part of the program. The only problem I have with them constantly doing this is that in a weird way, it's almost as if you're making Gallows and Anderson, if they can't function as a tag team, a top tier tag team, like, what are you really doing with them? Like, let's be real here. At this point, you're looking at a situation where Gallows and Anderson, for a good part of their career, have been almost like cast-offs to begin with, and now you've got this going on. So it's a little. I'm not a huge fan of how they're booking Gallows and Anderson. I'm happy that they're getting some time, but I really wish they would book them. Let's face it, when they were over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, they were one of the hottest teams in the promotion. Since coming to WWE, yes, they've had a few championship runs, but nothing on the level of what they should be. That's a little disappointing, to be quite honest. But we'll see how this thing plays out. This is interesting. I think WWE really has an opportunity here tonight. I saw the comments by CM Punk online talking about how he completely is against WrestleMania going forward. I get that. I understand that. But let's be honest. There is no sports out there right now for anybody. So if you can find a way to eliminate some of the stressors that people are experiencing right now and some of the things that people are experiencing right now, I think it's a good thing. This is good stuff. Oh, I love that. Big hit with AJ Styles coming in with, I don't know if that was some kind of porcelain or a glass something or other, but this is a great match. And AJ Styles, classic trash talker. Like, let's be honest. AJ Styles is incredible. And this is solid. Hopefully you guys are watching and tuning into Mania. I know there's a lot of people who are saying that they weren't thinking about doing that. not a good idea. Like, seriously. Like, you don't want to miss WrestleMania. I understand it's a strange set of circumstances this year, but you should be watching that. You should be watching WrestleMania as often as you can. This Boneyard match is pretty brutal, just being honest. AJ Styles, I think, and here's the thing. I've said this before. I don't know that I would have gone with The Undertaker and AJ Styles this year, but I'm happy that they're doing it at some point. I don't know if The Undertaker's coming back next year. Let's be honest. We don't know about that right now. But hopefully, if he does come back next year, look, I really wanted to see the AJ Styles Edge match. I don't know why we're watching Edge and Randy Orton for the millionth time, but this is still a solid performance by AJ Styles and The Undertaker. This is good. I'm enjoying this. AJ Styles, I mean, let's be honest. Right now, he is looking like a classic villain. He's playing that role very well, Just took The Undertaker through a wall, a fence. I don't know. I've predicted in the prediction show that was up earlier today that AJ Styles was going to lose this match, but the way they're booking it right now, it looks like the lag is starting to go away. So it looks like we've caught up to current. This match holds some promise here. It's unique because they're able to do this match somewhere that is not the typical WWE setting. I think that's important, and I think that's valuable. A little too cinematic for me. I get it. Wrestling's not real, but I still don't want it to be like a movie. I don't want to feel like I'm watching an episode of some WWE movie or television show or something of that nature. This is making The Undertaker look pretty old. And that's where the AJ Styles is trying to go with this, which I find to be incredibly frustrating. But, The Undertaker's calling for it. Bring it on. I know a lot of the wrestling websites are streaming tonight. It's WrestleMania. Why not? This is the first time we're doing a live stream, so I hope this works out. Make sure if you haven't already, try to click subscribe if you haven't already. If you are a current subscriber, we appreciate you, as always. The Pro Wrestling Podcast. And if you really want to be a subscriber, check out our Patreon page. Mike in Lansdale, our #1 Patreon. I'm sure he's tuning in. Hopefully we're seeing you now, Mike. I hope you're watching the show as well. This is pretty solid. They are making The Undertaker look really old right now, and I'm not really liking it. AJ with a metal shovel. Curious to see how this is going to work out. If there's anybody that you could have end the career of The Undertaker and really get the kind of heat that he needs, AJ Styles would be a great candidate to do that. I'm not ready to see that. I don't know that I'm ready. Oh, broke the shovel over The Undertaker's back. I like how we've got the heavy equipment right there, just waiting to dump the dirt on The Undertaker laying in the shallow grave. Clearly, that's not a 6 feet under kind of deal. And they got a John Deere tractor. At least if you're going to have a tractor, have a good one. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That's great. I love the entrance by The Undertaker with the biker setup. The old school biker American Badass Undertaker feel. Does anybody else get the feeling that AJ Styles is going to jump into this tractor and try to pour the dirt on The Undertaker, and somehow it's not going to be the biker Undertaker anymore? It's going to be the old school with like the Undertaker hat and everything, just sitting up and coming out and getting them. I mean, let's face it, we're in a taped reality this year, so if you were ever going to do it, this is a good time to do it. Wait, there you go. There's, what you see? See, I would have been happier if he had the old school hat on. Oh, that's classic. The Undertaker is just a character that just can't die. I know people are tired of seeing him every year because he's getting older, but let's be honest. For what The Undertaker does in the ring, he doesn't really have to move around like a 20-year-old spry young guy. This is solid. I like this. It's good stuff. Now AJ Styles trying to run away. Oh, we got conveniently at a graveyard. there's a house in the background and they're going to climb inside this house. Like, when was the last time you went to a graveyard and you saw all this set up next to the graveyard? You might see a church, and sometimes they have that little outbuilding where they store like the lawnmower and things like that, but you don't usually see some beat up rickety old building in the middle of a graveyard or boneyard. I guess this is a boneyard. I guess it's not a graveyard, so I guess maybe it's a little different. Oh, I love the pyro going off behind AJ so he can't run away. This is actually turning out to be quite an interesting match. Oh, we got Gallows and Anderson coming in out of nowhere. So we got a 3-on-1 boneyard match. You know what would make this perfect? Is if the next time Gallows and Anderson came out, Kane was there to stop them. Now, I don't know if they'll do that, but that's what I would have done. I would have brought Kane in as the Brothers of Destruction for him to take care of, oh, what do we got here? Oh, he's throwing him off the roof. All right, well, attempted homicide is always okay in WWE's book. Here comes a tombstone. There have been a lot of surprises tonight. Will we actually see AJ? Oh, will we see AJ defeat The Undertaker? Because he's spending a lot of time with Gallows and Anderson right now, and I don't know how I feel about that. And now he's implying it's just the two of them. This could be interesting. I had you dead and buried. This is going to be interesting. Choke slamming him off the roof. His second attempted homicide of the night. Okay. So he's threw him off the roof. He's through the fence. Now is AJ dead, or is he just going to take his time, stroll over, and pin him? Is that how we end this match, or do we have to bury him alive, or what is the shittick with this kind of match? Curious to see. AJ's actually still moving. Oh, I like that. What's my wife's name? This is an incredibly brutal match. I love it. I was a little surprised we haven't seen any of the championship matches tonight so far. Brock Lesnar's match with Drew McIntyre. We didn't see the Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. I actually thought they would have done Goldberg and Strowman tonight so that you could really give Drew McIntyre the real main event tomorrow night, being the Royal Rumble winner. But I'm a little surprised we haven't seen that yet tonight. And I don't know what time this is supposed to go over, because honestly I haven't really paid any attention to what the two times are going to be. I knew it started at 7, but this is interesting. AJ is selling this really well. If you haven't yet done so, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, enable the bell for notifications whenever the Fro Wrestling Podcast does a live show or puts up a new episode. We'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you put a comment in there, because we love to hear your comments too. We get a lot of stuff through email, which is really kind of old school. You know, do it, feel free, do it if you'd like, but we'd love to see your comments under the actual YouTube videos and things of that nature. This is interesting. Oh, it looks like he's going to tombstone pile drive him into... Oh, no, he dropped him. Looked like he was going to tombstone him into the grave. That would have been interesting. Oh, now he's sorry. This is great. This is a little too cinematic for me. This is like a horror movie taking place. Don't bury me. Oh, I like that. Go out like a man. I like that. Oh, I love it. Saying you're sorry to the old man. Oh. Oh, this is good. You think I'm gonna bury you? Oh, he's giving him a hug. What is that? This is very weird. He's got to tombstone him into the... Wait, the Undertaker's pausing and looking back at him. A kick in the chest. All right. He should have tombstone pile driven him into there. Way too cinematic for me. But hey, the Undertaker looks angry. This is probably it for AJ. Oh, here we go. Good old John Deere tractor again. Of course, by now AJ's well out of the hole. They'll probably show him in the hole one more time just because. Oh, he's starting up the tractor. Look, if you're not watching this show, you're missing some good stuff. Oh, they showed him in the grave hole again. Oh, this is good stuff. I didn't know this was the rules for a boneyard match was to dump all this dirt on him and end it that way. Oh, there he goes. Does that mean he wins the match? We just need a referee to run out and then declare the Undertaker the winner. What a strange way to end a match. Well, if you are not currently a subscriber, make sure you click off subscribe in the YouTube feature. I'm sure we're going to share this out on Facebook and everything else, but make sure you click subscribe in YouTube. If you follow us on Spreaker, we'd love to hear from you there too. We definitely take... Oh, look at that, the gravestone. AJ Styles, rest in peace, 1977 to 2020. That's good stuff right there. I don't all the way understand this. They probably should have thrown Gallows and Anderson in the hole too. Oh, AJ's hand is sticking up from under the dirt. That's pretty funny. This was an interesting match, to say the least. I don't know how I feel about this. Dusting off the bandana and hopping back on the motorcycle. I guess that means the Undertaker won, which I'm okay with. That's kind of what we predicted anyways. Me personally, I'd have had AJ win since AJ is going to be with the company going forward, but, it is what it is. And the Undertaker's going to ride off into the sunset. That's a beautiful thing. Oh, love the pyro. That was awesome. Oh, and the Undertaker symbol in the background. Interesting choice of music. That's good stuff. So yeah, look, guys. If you're tuning in just now, this is our first ever live stream for the Fro Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you click subscribe on YouTube. Click the bell to enable notifications. Make sure you check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Fro Wrestling Podcast. We'd love to have you in our club. We have loyalty rewards. If you are one of our $15 a month contributors, you get to co-host an episode of one of our live shows with me. You can tune in and call in through the phone. We'll get you on there live with us. If you are a $7.50 a month subscriber, we enter you into a drawing to see if you can co-host an episode of one of our live shows. Our number one Patreon contributor this month, as most months, has been Mike in Lansdale. Thank you, Mike. You're awesome. We want to make sure we give you your respect. Oh, it looks like we might get the Drew McIntyre-Brock Lesnar match in a few moments. That would be an interesting way to close out night one. In addition, guys, check out our homepage, frowrestling.com. It's where we cover all the topics and things coming to our future shows. We have our independent events tab on the website. You can check out some local wrestling. Got to support indie wrestling. Right now, not a lot of events going on, but I expect that they'll be back at some point. You want to make sure you're a part of that. In addition, there's my blog is there, Fro's Corner, where we give our own editorial pieces, and we are sponsored and a part of www.tsj101sports.com, where they cover all the news in the world of professional wrestling, football, baseball, basketball, all the major sports. Make sure you check that out. They're an incredible website and resource for all things sports related. In addition, take a look at some of the other things that we feature on our site. AlleyRepair.com. They take care of all skee ball, pinball, and arcade game needs. Try to check out our other sponsors. WWWAWrestling.com. They bring shows to the Quakertown Farmers Market every second and fourth Saturday of the month. They are a great local outfit here near me and near Philadelphia. There are many others. Make sure you check out Chikara Wrestling. Incredible product. They are available on YouTube. They have local shows in Philadelphia that are really fan-friendly and very up close and personal. But you gotta support companies like that. Make sure you check out our interview series. We've had some great interviews with Nick Aldis, the NWA World Champion, with the artist formerly known as Eugene in WWE. Nick Dinsmore has a great interview we did with him. Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. Johnny Mantell down in Texas, who is the guy who organizes the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, the legit standalone brick and mortar Wrestling Hall of Fame. Check out some of the interviews we've done. They're pretty cool. Tully Blanchard, Dr. Tom Pritchard, a few different guys. So check those out, and just make sure you hit up the homepage early and often, see what topics we're bringing to the Fro Wrestling Podcast in the near and distant future. I love this that they're doing this retrospective for Drew McIntyre to fill some time, because it looks like they're, probably up against it for their time slot that they want to put on the network. It's 10 o'clock now. A Brock Lesnar match isn't going to take an hour to do. So they're not going to 11 o'clock unless they're going to give us another match tonight, which I can't begin to believe they're going to do. They need those matches for tomorrow night. We still have the Raw Tag Team Championship. We have the NXT Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship. We have, we don't have the Cruiserweight title being defended, even though it's more NXT now than anything else. I was a little surprised they didn't put the Johnny Gargano and all that on WrestleMania's card with Tommaso Ciampa. I thought that would have been perfect for Mania, especially under the circumstances. But they chose not to do that. So we'll have to wait and see what they roll out tomorrow night. The Rob Gronkowski, he's supposedly going to get involved in something in a much more substantial role than we thought he was going to get into. So I'm curious why we haven't seen that yet. But we'll have to wait and see. And then tomorrow night, we're going to try to do this again tomorrow night so we can review the show as it takes place live. But it should be good stuff. I love this. They're showing the original introduction of Drew McIntyre. I guess that was the end of night one, because we're in WWE Chronicle now. So yeah, that must be the end of night one. I'm a little surprised. No major championship match on night one. That's crazy. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it for us tonight. WrestleMania Night 1. I hope you enjoyed this show. A little surprised, Elias beating Baron Corbin. Kabuki Warriors losing the Women's Tag Team Championship to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Some of the other shockers, Kevin Owens defeating Seth Rollins. I don't think that was as much a surprise, but glad to see it happen. That's something I think that really helps his character build going forward. I really thought they were going to have Baron Corbin win over Elias so that you'd have a good challenger for Braun Strowman should he win the Universal Championship. We didn't see that yet. We did get to see Shayna Baszler fall to Becky Lynch, a little bit of a surprise there. Sami Zayn retaining over Daniel Bryan, another surprise. But I think that's a good thing. I'm glad to see that, actually. I think Sami Zayn deserves it. And maybe this will set up Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak to go for the Tag Team Championship, which we saw the Tag Team Championship retained by John Morrison, winning the ladder match in a really strange way for a Tag Team Championship to be determined. All three teams pulling the championship belts down, but nobody having control of it until Morrison falls off the ladder and pulls the belts down with him. So that was interesting, but we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do night 2. Until then, guys, take care. Like I said, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. Give us some comments. Shoot us some feedback. We'd love to hear what you have to say, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.